Hi, good evening, and welcome to the waiting room. My name is Joyce Ubosu. You're welcome to another episode of the waiting room. Still on Nigerians' independence, celebrating Nigeria at 50. We thank God for our country, Nigeria. But before we go ahead, let me say a word of prayer. Our Father and our God, we thank you for our gathering this evening. We thank you, O Lord, for Nigeria, our country. We thank you because Nigeria is 60 years. We are still standing together. We thank you because we know that Nigeria will get better. We bless this country. We bless our leaders. We ask, oh God, that you take us to the promised land. Thank you for our gathering this evening, oh God. Use these young people today to minister hope to the nation. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Amen. Where are my guests? Good evening, Loretta, Tomiwa,
Good evening, Ma.
You're welcome to the waiting room. Can you all hear
Can you
me?
all hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
ma'am.
Yes, we
Yes, ma'am.
can.
Good to see you. Good to see your
Good
bright
to see your bright.
faces. Quickly, let's quickly introduce ourselves. But we're not seeing Boma. Mr. Boma, are you here? I can see Ezekiel, I can see Tomiwa, and I can see Laura. I don't know if Mr. Boma is here, but let's quickly take our introduction while we wait for him to join in. If he's maybe he's been kicked out by the network. Okay, so I start with Laura. Laura, say hello to our viewers and then introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. I hope we can all hear me. My name is Loretta Eloho Malaka. I am from Delta State and I am a development programs manager, which means that I basically help nonprofits and people in development space to design programs that help that create impact basically. Yeah, so that's what I do. And my hobbies are reading. I love to read. I can read anything, even product labels, I read them. So yeah, I enjoy reading. And then one thing that I love particularly about Nigeria is that they have fantastic food, spicy and colorful variety of foods. Yeah, so that that's about me.
That means you like food. You like food. Good food. Nigerian delicacy. Nigerian jollof. Okay,
Yeah.
so next, Mr. Ezekiel Ibe, say hi to the viewers and tell us your what you do. Introduce yourself. Yeah, Ezekiel, you have the floor. Mr. Ezekiel, your mic is muted. Your mic. Are you sure you can hear me? Okay, Tomiwa, go ahead if you cannot hear me. Just go ahead. Tomiwa, can
Oh,
you
all
hear
right.
me? If you can hear me, you go ahead. Okay. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, go
Hello,
ahead.
everyone.
Introduce
You're
it.
welcome to the Waiting Room Youth Parliament edition of the Independence Month series. My name is Tomiwa Akisoya. I am a public health practitioner as well as a communications manager. I'm someone who is very passionate about supporting programs that deal with focused on improving the health and well-being of children and adolescents. And in this regard, I have been able to work with the public and development sector on programs that help to enhance the well-being of children and adolescents. And I've also been able to work with internationally donor-funded organizations such as WHO. For my hobbies, I enjoy networking. I like to meet people. I like to learn about their culture. I like to learn about their perspectives about life, just learn intersectoral knowledge and ideologies. I also enjoy journaling. I like to journal a lot, and I also enjoy volunteering. One of the things that I love about Nigeria is the drive and spirit of the Nigerian youth, and I believe that it's an energy that cannot be stopped, literally.
Okay, thank you. Nice having you here, Miss Tomiwa. Okay, so the drive of the Nigerian youth got us a result today. We'll get there. We'll get the answers. Okay, so but we'll not start with that. So let's also take Mr. Boma. I can see you. If you can hear me, please introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening,
Mr. Boma, your
everyone.
mic is muted. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Boma Kassin. I am a young ambassador for SDG. I'm a member of the African Youth
Louder,
Parliament.
please speak up. We can hear you. Speak up.
My name is
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, better.
Okay. I'm a young ambassador for SDG and a member of African Youth Parliament. I believe in nation building, and that is the drive that has been pushing me. I believe so much in Nigeria and positivity of Nigeria. I've worked with Peace Light USA to promote peace building in Africa, and we're still on that. And together, we have a successful and a prosperous African together. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. Is Mr. Ezekiel back now? Ezekiel, can you hear me now? Okay, so introduce yourself, tell us your hobbies and what you do. Oh my God, his mic is muted. Okay, okay, go ahead. I can see that his mic is still muted from here. Can our admin help us with that? We don't know if it's because of the mic. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, looks like he's having a difficult time with the network over there. So we'll just jump into it. We jump into it. When he comes, he can now give us his introduction, then take his question. So my first question is, I'm not just going to follow my flow tomorrow. What is today? What is the Nigeria of your dream? Now you are talking. We're talking about the Nigeria of our dream. This Nigeria that we live in, so many worries, so many, we don't even know which one to pick first. When we had the kids episode last week, I had so many feedbacks, about, this Nigeria that you are celebrating. Some people are for, some people are against. But I was able to reorientate at least the people within my space. And some of them saw reasons with me that, okay, yes, we should do this. We all need to put our hands together to make Nigeria a better place. Nobody will do it for us. Now, Miss Loretta, the Nigeria of your dream, what is the Nigeria that you wish for? What is that Nigeria that you want to see? Okay, you have the floor.
All right. Okay, for me, the Nigeria has over 200 million citizens, right? And more than half of them are young people. So in Nigeria of my dream is a nation where this number is maximized, where this number is, they give them their best, they provide opportunities for them to be their best. They provide they listen to their voice and what they say, just like we've seen in this SARS, at least they've listened to us. So I want the Nigeria of my dream is one where people have what's it called now? People have access to quality education, not just going to school and getting a certificate, but an education that will prepare them for the workspace. Because it really breaks our hearts when we are done with school and then we go to the workplace and they tell us, sorry, you don't have what we need. When we've been told that education is the key, only for us to get there and found out that either the door was changed or the key was changed. We don't know which one. So in Nigeria of my dream is one where we have access to quality education that prepares us for the workspace. And then we also have access to good health, medical care, because it really breaks my heart when I see a lot of young people. Sometime in 2017, a friend and I will a friend just because he went to the hospital, they were asking for police reports. They were asking that there was nothing they could do. They kept, moving him until he finally died. So I want the Nigeria of my dream is where they care about their young people, and they have access to good healthcare facility, emergency services are available, and that thing is security and social justice means a lot. Like it's something that I want to see in my country, where there's where somebody that does wrong, whoever you are, whether you are the leader, whether you are a pauper, whoever you are, if you do something wrong, you pay. Right? It's not that, okay, I'm poor, so I pay. No. So I want to see. So Nigeria of my dream is one where there's access to education, and that an education that will work for them when they are done, where there's access to quality healthcare, and where there's access to security and social justice.
Thank you. Well said. She says security, social justice, education, quality education is the Nigeria of her dream that she wants to see. Yeah, valid thoughts over there. Miss Boma, the Nigeria of your dream. What kind of Nigeria do you want to see in the next few years?
Okay, good evening. My Nigerian dream is not different from the dream of everyone in Nigeria, to have a safe society, a society where they can have access to quality health system, health services, good education. It's not like the last speaker just said. It's not going to the university where you have a degree that you can no longer use. Because if I'm not mistaken, the first degree we have now in Nigeria is equivalent to the SSC we have in 1950 or 1960.
if I'm not mistaken. Because if you have
Okay, so
that
Mr.
level of
Boma, you
education,
are terribly breaking. You're breaking. Maybe you need to log out and relog in again. You are breaking. We can't really hear you very well. So I think you need to relog
okay.
in again. So Ezekiel, you can take the Nigeria of your dream. Why Boma sorts out that? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. The Nigerian of my dreams is a place where meritocracy thrives, where people are given opportunity not because of their ethnicity, their tribes, or their religious affiliation, but based on their capacity to deliver. The Nigerian of my dreams is a place where the citizens are able to live in dignity, where citizens don't have to go to bed without a meal. The Nigerian of my dreams is it's a nation with leaders who have foresight, insight, and hindsight, leaders who have a clear strategy on how to move the country from where it is to where it ought to be. So basically, the Nigerian of my dreams is a Nigeria that will be better for all, better for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so the Nigeria of his dreams. Food for everyone, good leadership, Nigeria that is good for everyone, not for some people. Fantastic thoughts there. Thank you. Ms. Tomiwa, can we hear the Nigeria of your dreams?
I would totally say that I agree with all what my previous colleagues just mentioned, Loretta, Mr. Boma, and Ezekiel. For me, I would say that the Nigeria of my dream is one where the children and adolescents, as well as mothers, have access to quality and good health care. Those who are in underserved communities. I was privileged to work on a project where we had to go deep into a local government in Oyo State, and I was so surprised at what was going on there. They didn't have power supply, they didn't have good water system, they did not have good quality health care system, and it was very sad because there was a child who had a huge mole on her eyes, and the mother couldn't do anything about it. She said that usually the only time she's able to go to the healthcare facility, which is really distant from her, is usually on Thursdays, and she didn't have the financial capabilities to. And so she was just looking at the young child. And in my heart of heart, I was thinking, would this child have died in this situation? Would she have died if we didn't come to this local government to have this sort of dissemination of this project here? And so for me, the Nigeria of my dream is where children, mothers, and adolescents in underserved community have access to quality healthcare. And also for the educational sector, I believe that quality education is really, really important. Looking at the Nigerian society today, we see that there are so many, even though our education is maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 5, we see that there are so many hindrances and enablers present in the society for children and adolescents to be retained in school. You find out that out of school adolescents are literally telling you things like they do not have access to financial resources. Their teachers are probably giving them a hard time in school because of the incessant beatings. And so such things, you find out that when you talk to these young children, you see why they decide to stay in school, that is being retained in school, and you see why they decide to opt out of school. And so the Nigeria of my dreams really is where there's quality education, where there's access to good facilities in the school, where there's access to quality infrastructural facilities in school, where there's access to ICT-based technology, because we're in a digital age at this point and we cannot be left behind. And that's one of the things that the pandemic has taught us generally. So that would be the Nigeria of my dreams, to be honest, to make sure that there's quality education given to the youth, the children and adolescents, as well as quality healthcare for mothers and children and adolescents.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miwa. Okay, she said infrastructure, education, safety. Everybody's echoing the same thing. Thank you all for your thoughts. So I'm going to jump to the next question now. In what area do you think the country Nigeria has failed you? Indeed, we have so many complaints from different quarters about Nigeria at 60, a lot of people, have the standards that they think that Nigeria should have attained by this time. But, so we have more negative people thinking that Nigeria has not done anything for them. So I'm going to put that question to you guys. In what areas do you think Nigeria has failed you? And what do you think they can do to better us, our lives and our people? Okay, so Emily, I'm seeing some chats coming in. Somebody's already answering. education. So who goes first? Mr. Boma, you go first. Let's see if you have the better network right now. In what area has Nigeria failed you, and how can we do better?
Okay.
Hopefully, our
Nigeria
leaders
has
will hear
failed
this,
me in
watch this,
the
and work on it. Go
okay.
ahead.
Nigeria has failed me in the area of health system. Our health system in Nigeria is so poor. With the level of mental properties we have in this nation, Nigeria shouldn't be here currently. Their health system should be one of the best in the world, if not the best, because we have the resources, we have the manpower. If you go to UK, if I'm not mistaken, almost 20% of their health workers are from Nigeria. If about 15 to 20% of their health workers are from Africa and Nigeria, most especially. And here we are still doing medical tourism. That is one aspect Nigeria is supposed to be generating most of their revenue from. And they have failed us, and we can do better. We can do better. They are resource persons. They are resource persons abroad in the US, Nigerians making wave. But our government should bring these people back home. Tell them, how can we make this team better? It's not being political. Everything is not about politics. If they can actually go to these people, they are willing to give their best to Nigeria. And that's one area Nigeria really need to work on. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. I have so many brains that are departing the shores of the nation daily to other places to look for greener pastures, while we can actually use those people here in Nigeria. Blessing Joseph said, "Nice one, Boma." So, Miss Tomiwa, how has the country Nigeria failed you, and how can
All
they do
right.
better?
All right, thank you so much, Ma. I would say for me, how Nigeria, I believe, has failed me is in the area of the power sector. I believe that since I was born, because of the little years I've used on this in this country and on this earth, I have seen, I've been opportunity to travel and see how people in other sides of the world, like the UK, have things easy. They are able to work because there's the free flow of power. And that is one area I think that the Nigerian sector needs to optimize very urgently, the power sector, because the power sector is one sector that is hinged on several other sectors in the economy. There is no adequate power supply, no consistent power supply, and that is actually hinged on so many productive areas of the economy. And so I feel like that is one way that the country has actually failed me. And I believe that if they can optimize this, I believe that it would help the health sector as well. It will help the educational sector as well. It will be a multi-sectoral development in total. So for me, that is it. The power sector needs to be optimized, whereby we have consistent power supply. At least we can say we can remove that from the underemployment rates and the unemployment rates that we're currently struggling with. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, unemployment. I could barely hear you. So I might need to log out and log in again. But I heard unemployment. Yes, yes, yes. I heard the power. If we can fix power, we'll fix like 90% of our problems, because Nigerian enterprising people, they can fix themselves. That's absolutely true. Okay, so Mr. Ezekiel, how has Nigeria failed you, and what can we do?
Okay, Nigeria has failed me, particularly in our educational sector and several millions of Nigerians. It will interest you to know that on the 23rd of March 2020, the Academic Staff Union of Universities embarked on a nationwide strikes. And as I speak with you today, over 6 months, they have not been able to reach a consensus. So usually a course that will take about 4 or 5 years to complete ends up taking about 6 to 7 years. I really look forward to a time where students in our public institutions would not be subjected to this kind of strike, where we'll be able to graduate at the right time without going through unnecessary delays. So I look forward to the time when the federal government, the government, and the Academic Staff Union of Universities will be able to reach an agreement without going through strikes. They should be able to reach agreements, policies, without going through strikes that we keep having every year. So there will need to be a whole lot of innovation in our educational sector. Thank you so much.
So much, Loretta. Have you told us? I wanted to read some chat, but I think we should hear from all respondents before I go to chat. Loretta, have you responded to that question? You've all responded. Okay, your mic is muted. Your mic is muted.
All right.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay, you go ahead before I take chats.
No, I
You
have.
have. Okay, so let me quickly take chat because people are also sending their own how Nigeria has failed them.
Hello, can you hear me now? It has been unmuted.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I haven't.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So for me,
Go ahead.
I'm an education advocate, and I'm really passionate about education. So most of my responses will still go there. So one way that Nigeria has failed me is in the education system, and there's a strike. But what I'm focusing on in my own response is the curriculum. Nigeria has failed me in the curriculum. It's funny that when we go to class, the things that we are taught, how, and at the end of the day, I cannot stand with and side by side with my peers outside the country. So I my first degree, I studied agriculture and environmental engineering, right? So at some point, I wanted to do a master's in environmental engineering. So I saw a school that I liked in the UK, and I went ahead to check their curriculum and what the course was like. And there were some things in this that we were supposed to have known in our undergrad days. And I realized that I was not taught these things. I had no idea what these things are. So I think that, and it was a big shame for me because I'm like, okay, so you mean that my mates who schooled in the UK know all of these things and I'm still way behind. So it's a way that the nation has failed me. We cannot stand side by side with our peers from across the world. Our curriculum is outdated and it should, and if our curriculum does not even prepare us to work, because I had a friend of mine who we also graduated together. He said when he got to his first when he got to his place of work, they had to tell him that everything that you've ever learned to school, we have to reteach you because it's like you haven't done anything. And I think that that was a huge slap on our face after spending 5 years in engineering. So one way that the system has failed me is in the curriculum of Nigerian education system sector.
Curriculum. Yes. I'm an advocate of let's look into this Nigerian curriculum. The lot of our stuff there are really outdated and it should be looked into. So she just shared her experience with the foreign university that she wanted to apply to, and they said that she had to the things that she's supposed to have known, that she discovered that they did not teach her in the university after spending 4 years or 5 years. I don't know if that agri program was for 4 or 5 years. So I'm going to take some chats now. So is okay. GQ resource. A funny one is that Nigerian government is forestalling, stalking, and actively blocking health staff from exiting the shores of the country. Really? I've not heard of that. Most of them fly away when they want to. So are they stopping them now? We'll have to check that out. Okay, so Mr. Idris says that Nigeria has failed in education, healthcare, power, and security. Yes. I will add my voice to that. What's Jerry says, I am not a fan of Nigeria, but these panelists are making me think otherwise. So why are you here? You should be in Somalia or Burundi, Mr. Jerry. Okay, Precious, we're happy to be here. Happy to have you all. You are all welcome to the waiting room. Exciting discussions already. So I'm going to take my next question quickly. So this question goes to Boma and Tomiwa. Okay, no. It's not Boma, it's Ezekiel and Loretta. By the Bible standards, what should good leadership look like to you? By the Bible standards, are we practicing good leadership in Nigeria? What's your idea of good leadership? Please go ahead and tell us. Bible standards. This is for Mr. Boma and Tomiwa. So once Boma finishes responding, Tomiwa can take her response. Yeah.
Okay. Bible standard about leadership. You know, one thing Jesus Christ has always admonished us that if you must be a leader, you must first be a servant. And we know in Nigeria, the citizens are the servants, while the leaders are on horses. Instead of them serving us, we are serving them in return. You just, it's so pathetic that you even see an advisor with escorts in Nigeria. It is that bad. Oppressing the little masses to leave the same road they built for them so they could pass. It's pathetic. They don't, that's not the Jesus style of leadership. Jesus Christ has laid a foundation for us. Jesus Christ has made himself so humble and accessible. Okay, we saw what leadership was about in the previous World Cup, whereby the president of I think is it Iceland, the lady, she was fully there in camp with her people playing football. That is leadership in a different dimension. And in America, we saw recently in the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, where a contestant is telling the president to keep quiet. Try it in Nigeria, they will disqualify you. If you even get to the pool, they will disqualify you. We should, one, first, when we are failed in leadership, we don't respect laws. Our leaders don't, they create laws for the citizens, not for the leaders. Whereby in Nigeria, you will commit they will create a law, and leaders will commit crime. They will jail innocent people for the crime they committed. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. They should go and learn leadership from the biblical standard. And when a godly person is not leading, you will see it. It will show. We saw it during Jonathan's time. At least he was a Christian. People were criticizing. People had freedom of speech. Now talk and see how far you will go. So we really need to learn from Jesus. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Tomiwa. Same question. Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much,
Good
Ma.
leadership, Bible standard. Yeah.
All right, for me, I believe that the biblical standard of leadership, from what Mr. Boma said, um, it doesn't the servanthood aspect of leadership actually doesn't have to do with the position that you have as a leader. It doesn't necessarily concern the skill that you have, but it has to do with your attitude and your character. And that's one thing that Jesus attributes literally projected in the Bible. You find that in literally all situations, Jesus had a good attitude and character at all times in the Bible. And using the biblical reference on servanthood, like servant leadership, you find that in like John 13. John 13 talks about how the disciples were preparing to go to the event of the Passover feast. And usually they employ the services of a servant who would wash their feet, which is their normal custom. Now, at this particular feast or the event, rather, they forgot to employ the services of this particular servant, that is the servant who washes their feet. And after it was time for them to wash their feet, they started looking at each other and were literally wondering, they were in awe that, oh, they had forgotten that they needed the services of somebody who would actually wash their feet. And instead of them to volunteer, you find that they were literally, interestingly, all just quiet. And at some point, they were arguing that who is the greatest of them all to really wash or not wash their feet. And at that point in time, you see that Jesus exhibited servanthood, whereby he decided to help the disciples to wash their feet. Jesus, in that particular scripture, literally exemplified humility. It shows how, at the end of the day, he did it out of love. He did it out of a position whereby it wasn't about who he was as a person, but it was about the unconditional love that he had for his disciples. And so, one of the things that I believe that Jesus exemplifies is empathy. Empathy as a leader is very, very important. The Bible says that you should be happy with those who are happy and mourn with those who mourn. You find that people are groaning in pains about certain issues that concern them, and some leaders are just looking AWOL about it, and they are not concerned about it. They are not giving immediate action towards it. You find that Jesus was very empathic towards his people. And also, Jesus was a leader who always thought out of the box. For him to have decided to actually wash the feet of his disciples, it's a part of thinking outside of the box, even apart from showing love. And it is an attribute of a leader to always think out of the box. You find this also in his help with the people who came together. They joined. They came to. I can't remember the particular passage, but these people were hungry. They were following Jesus, and they were really hungry. And Jesus had compassion on them, and he thought out of the box that these people are hungry. How do we feed them? Go and look for somebody that has maybe food. And you found the boy with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. And so that is somebody that thought out of the box. Jesus was a leader of innovation, and he always thought out of the box. A leader, I believe, is also somebody who provides value. If you look through the Bible, Jesus always provided value at every point. There is no time that you left the presence of Jesus without taking anything that had value. If you look at all the people he spoke to, they all took something of value with them. Either a word of encouragement, either compassion, either empathy, either provision. And so for me, leaders are supposed to ensure that they put their agenda behind that of the agenda of the people. And so it is not about their interest, but the interest of the people at the end of the day.
Okay,
so
and Tomiwa is also breaking. I can't really hear you well. You're breaking, so I'll have to cut you short there. Okay,
right.
So let's see if you can re-log in again. You're really, really breaking. How do you think young people can leverage on the office of the citizen to drive change? Loretta and Ezekiel should take. How can you leverage to drive change? People are looking at you. Your younger ones are looking at you. Nigerians are the older ones are looking at this generation because you are the you are the greatest demographic that we have in this nation. How can you drive change from your corner? This goes to Ezekiel and Loretta. Loretta, you can go first. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so I was saying that one way that we can drive change through the office of the citizen is through our votes, right? So we have, just like you mentioned, our population is high here, right? And I wish and I really desire that every one of us can, come together and value their votes again. We are saying that what's it called now, that our votes don't matter, this and that and that, and that's why the number of our votes are reducing at the polls. But one way that we can maximize this office that we have is through our votes. Do not sell your vote. Do not let anybody talk you out of just on short-term basis. Really, really bring, as a young person, you have that analytical skill, you have that curiosity, you know what you want. So please use these things that you have to your own advantage. Because if you look at it, I was reading a document this afternoon, and they were trying to relate, climate change and youth, and they mentioned something that the thing is that the effect of climate change will be felt by us, the young people. So young people within the ages of 15 to 35. So it means that at least we have young people are people that have more years ahead of them to live than they have lived. So it means that anything that we are allowing now, anything that we are just sitting down, crossing our legs, that is none of our business, we'll be the ones to reap you reap the it's not exactly better, you reap the cause at the end of the day. So if you say you're going to keep quiet and let things go bad, you'll be the one to reap because you have more years ahead of you. The older ones, they have few years left, and before you know, they are gone, and then you are the one facing all of this. So why don't you use your power now and cast your vote for the right person? When somebody comes to you, look at them. What are they offering? Using the qualities that Tomiwa has mentioned. Are they empathetic? Are they value driven? Do they have are they people that they are strategic? They design something, follow through. So take your time to research on whoever is coming to sell anything to you, and then go for the right person. During this BB Niger, a lot of young people came together to open GoFundMe accounts for the housemates. They were doing also. And I was just wondering that if we could also unite this way and then cast votes for the right people. Look at amazing options that came up for us in the last election, but we didn't do anything because we had already lost hope, and that's why we didn't make any efforts to bring the right guys in. Now, who is suffering? We all are suffering. So please let us maximize this office of the citizenship by casting our votes. So between now and the next election, start. What do you want? right? So know that it is very, very, very important. And then when a leader is on board and you don't like what they are doing, stand up and speak up. Don't keep quiet. Don't be complacent. Speak up. Speak up. So that's one way that I feel that, or two ways that young people can maximize the office of the citizen.
Every citizen of Nigeria, every young Nigeria, to please be a card carrying member of a political party, register, vote, exercise your franchise. That's your power. Really, if you understand the power of that, your voting right, you will use it and you will use it well. Mr. Zikia, quickly, our time is fast spent. Same question.
Okay, very quickly. Citizens can drive change, especially as young people, using the social media. Recently, the social media has proven to be a very powerful tool. When the trend of end SARS brutality started, it was through the social media that the young people used to get the police attention, get the IG's attention. So as young people, we should leverage on the social media. We have the email account of the senators representing your constituency, of the members of House of Rep. We can leverage on the social media as a tool to see to it that our leaders become accountable. Once something happens somewhere, injustice anywhere, injustice everywhere. Once something happens somewhere that you're not comfortable with, take it online so that people can begin to talk about it. And the more we talk about it, the faster solution comes to it. But once no one is talking about it, and then once no one is talking about it, then it's easy for such a thing continue. But once we keep talking about it, after some time, the leaders will not have any other choice but to give in to our demands. So citizens can maximize and leverage on the social media to see to it that our governors and those that are leading us becomes accountable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ezekiel. Thank you. We've heard from them. There's one front burner right now. Before we go, let's take that. Is a hot topic right now. End SARS, end SARS, end SARS. And today I was on my way back from a journey. I went to condole with someone, and then I got to Lekki. We got to somewhere on the mainland. The road was blocked. We suffered some form of traffic. We got to Lekki again. The road was blocked. I had to get down from the Uber that I took. Okay, so I'm like, when I saw the traffic, I saw the sufferings, no movement. I'm like, but this is not SARS office now. But this is not government office now. Is this the right place? And why are we suffering for? Are we SARS? But then finally, SARS has been disbanded. So what's your take on this? So everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. You can see all of it. Yes, and SARS. Yes. Bad eggs, good. So every organization have bad eggs. You understand? But just that I don't know how far. I never experienced them before. I don't know how far they really dealt with Nigerian people. What's your take on this matter? Is it end SARS or end SARS brutality or end police brutality? What's your argument on this matter? Because I was really on the fence on this matter. Really, that's why you didn't hear me say anything about it. That's why I wasn't on the fence on this. Because and SARS, yes, they were supposed to be doing a real job, but some of them now got maybe power intoxicated them and they started using it wrongly. What's your take on this matter? All four of you. So let's start with Loretta. What's your take on the matter? I know you are all happy. Congratulations. They've disbanded.
Thank you, ma'am.
So what's your take on the matter? Go ahead, Loretta. Your mic. Yeah.
Okay, so my take on it is, I'm happy that it has been disbanded, but I also feel like it's just a symptom. Or would I say it's just exactly, it's not, there's a root cause somewhere, and now we've just treated a part of it. It's just like you're having malaria, you're treating just the headache. So I'm glad that the headache is gone, right? But we really need to treat, something deeper than that. And like you said, I'll go for ending of police brutality or any form of brutality, because even though the SARS have gone, we have the military sometimes who come out and oppress civilians. So I feel that we've treated this, and I want us to focus more on taking out that deep entrenched thing that we have, that when we have, because in this country, if we have the smallest iota of power, we suppress other people. I remember one time in Ibadan, I was going out and all of a sudden I saw a taxi was stopped, and then a military guy just came out of the car and was flogging. If you see the way, and that man was old enough to be his father, he was flogging him, and I'm like, what is happening? And people could not stop him. They couldn't say anything because we already have this culture of fear, culture of silence. So we have a lot to break here. So we have to break brutality. We have to reform the system. We have to reform the mindset of how military or paramilitary officials relate with the civilians. So we need to do more. And we need to ensure that this thing is sustained, right? So the hustle still continues. We shouldn't rest on our oases yet. We shouldn't rest on our laurels yet. The hustle still continues.
Yeah, Nigerian youth, they've proven
So
that
that's my take.
together, we can do this. Miss Tomiwa, what's your take on this NSAT matter? I can see you've been on the social media with this whole NSAT thing. Yes, I know you are very happy right now. What's your take on it? I know you are for NSAS.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. It's one movement that I'm totally proud of. I mean, it has brought so many young people together, and it has brought out the energy that we would actually like to see as well to translate to the polls. For the NSAS movement, for me, I believe that today that the government have eventually addressed us, it's really not enough. Like, it's really not the end. Like Loretta said, for me, it's more of end police brutality, end every form of brutality, because the oppression and harassment that has been inflicted by police officials has given so many young people, they've gotten into depression. Some people have been their lives have been cut short. Some people don't have the self-esteem that they need to go about having a productive life, because they're scared of what would happen at the end of the day. So for me, it's really end police brutality. And I feel like the statement that was released today, I still have a little bit of observations, or rather reservations, on some of the statements that was released about still putting the work of the officials into other police forces. And I feel like that would be a recycling of these police officials. And so in my own opinion, I believe that a reorientation needs to go on in the police force on how to civilly deal with us, the civilians. I also believe that policies need to be put in place that address the harassments that go on and are perpetrated by these people. And it's something that I'm very glad about, that people have already started donating towards it. I mean, the Money Africa, a financial resource platform, has donated 500,000 naira towards the End Police Brutality and NSAS movement. Toby Adeboyega, the founder of Spark Nation Church, has pledged to donate 5 million naira towards the reform of the police force. And it's something that I'm really encouraged by, and we hope that moving forward, in hindsight, we all learn to live with love for one another. Because at the end of the day, biblically speaking, it's because we have no love that we treat our neighbor in a form of violence, with a form of violence, and with a form of harm. And so, in my own opinion, I believe that moving forward, I hope that each and every one of us learn to live in love with one another. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Please excuse us.
So
can you spell SAS for us?
SAS.
Yes.
SAS. Do you mean stop here? Back here? Where you walk? iPhone. Unlock up. Enter motor. Hang out. Where your card? Where your card? Where would they go here? I get POS. 300k, 200k, no pull up for 100. Take my number, make you call me. Take my hand, yeah, shake me.
So Ezekiel, I want you to respond to this video. I want to respond to this video. Then I would ask Boma. I would twist this particular question for Mr. Boma to respond. But because of our time, Ezekiel, respond to that video you just watched. The spelling of and meaning of stars.
Okay, what a funny video, but that's the truth. I would like to see it from the legal perspective. Nigeria has a constitution, the 1999 constitution, and in chapter 4 of the constitution, our human rights are enshrined there. In section 34 of the 1999 constitution, it provides for right to dignity of human persons. And what that means is that no person should be subjected to inhuman or degrading treatment. So in as much as the police and the members of the SARS would have to go about their duties, but then they need to have it at the back of their mind that they are relating with human beings and they must treat human beings like human beings, not animals. So in as much as they want to do anything, they need to do it with a perspective that this is a human being, a Nigerian citizen who has right to the dignity of human person and should not be subjected to inhuman or degrading treatment. So if they meet someone on the road, according to our constitution, you are presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. So even if you are caught in the very act, you are still presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. Like what the other speakers said, what we really need in the police or the SARS or any of them is a reorientation. Their mindsets need to be, they need to get to that point when they begin to value human lives. So my response to the video would be that SAN has been disbanded and it's a welcome development, but much more than that, I think the old forces need to be reoriented to begin to appreciate the value on the human life and the value that we place on our citizens.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Bowman, so there's something that bothers me in all parastatals, force in Nigeria. When road safety started, when they get to the road, they don't collect bribe. Once they catch you, your own is finished. But today, the reverse is the case. They collect bribes and everything. Last month, when they came, it was, the fear of last month is the beginning of wisdom, But today, corrupt. VIO, the same thing. What is really, so that's what happened to SARS, really. You understand? Just that theirs is what with the brutality and all that. And because they were going after criminals, that was their normal, that was the reason they were created anyway. So what is this thing that is changing them? What is there's a root cause according to Lord. What's this thing and how can we fight it? This question goes to Mr. Boma. Your mic is muted. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me, ma'am?
Did you hear my question?
Yes, the root cause of the negativity in the system. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
The root cause of the failure of most systems in Nigeria is corruption. And when you're not being, the welfare package of these officers are not being catered for, what do you expect them to do? Okay, let me use the police as a case study. Have you ever been to a police barrack before and see how dilapidated the place is? And you see the living condition of the policeman, how it's nothing to write home about. And you expect that man that is living in poverty to go to the road and not collect bribe? It's not encouraging. If we can actually address the welfare package of these security agencies, and if we have webcam everywhere on our roads, these people cannot successfully collect bribe when webcam is seeing you. And they have a new strategy. One strategy I have seen in police checkpoints now, they cover their names. If we can actually snap them, video them, and put it on social media, they will be scared. They're hiding their names. They don't want people to know they are collecting bribes and the rest. And government is not doing anything about their package, their welfare package. It's so poor. It's not, I won't totally blame them, but majority of the blame is a failed leadership. It's failed leadership. If we can actually cater for the people that are securing us, they will do it with joy. The way oil workers are working with joy, the security agencies, they should also work with joy. So our government should look into that thing. In fact, it's an overhauling the security system in Nigeria needs, an overhauling, whereby you can die. Okay, for example, now in the American Army, if you die, there is huge benefit for your family. But in Nigeria, if you die, you are gone. There is nothing. So when you have that kind of package that your family is in safe and you can give in your best, that if you die tomorrow, your family they're in good hands. So they can be able to give out their best. And let me finally end with this last man. I was impressed. There was a time in Lagos, last man caught me. I beat traffic and I passed on red. Surprisingly, they pulled over. They asked me to stop and I pulled over. And they showed me their tab. They had camera on the traffic light showing me passing on red. I was like, wow. There is nothing I could do. The only thing I told them that, please, I am a student. This is my ID card. I am very sorry. I apologize and I will never try it again. And they allowed me go. They are good. They didn't collect any money, but they warned me never to try it again. And I escaped. They are good. They didn't collect a kobo from me. So they are still good ones in the system. But government should look into their welfare. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As you round up, Loretta, I have one last question. I want you to respond to this. It beats my imagination about the patriotism of Nigerians. Nigerians are not really patriotic. They don't really care. They don't really, the last independence, just like nothing happened. You should. Last year, I was in America during the independence. July, is it June or July 1st or 4th? And if you see, it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas. It's if you see celebration, chicken, flags everywhere, fireworks. I don't know. Maybe you have a response to it. Are we that angry with this country? Are we that patriotism? I think is a key issue. Please respond. Why are we not patriotic about our country? Loretta, you can go if you heard me.
One major reason why we might not be patriotic is the fact that we have lost hope, and the fact that we don't know, most of us, we know now that the larger part of this population are young people. We don't know our history. Sometime in 2018, I got access to a collection of history books, American history books, and the first thing that caught my attention in the first page of the book was that what the authors wrote. They said they were writing this book because they wanted the young American to understand like the history, where they were coming from, and they wanted to write it in the eyes of a 10-year-old, because history books can be boring. So they wanted to write the books so that when maybe a 10-year-old is reading the book, it's like they're listening to another 10-year-old narrate what it was like to live in the 17th, 18th century. So that one blew my mind at first. So I'm wondering so if all these kind of books are available to school children, they are taking history classes, there are museums to document all of the struggles that the people have gone through, there's no how that these people will not be patriotic. That's one thing, the history part. And then also by seeing that their country really cares for them. I have not traveled out yet, but I know most about those countries from their movies. And one thing that shocks me is when we hear the president say something like, the life of an American citizen, the life of an American citizen. Like an American citizen is having issue outside the country, and how they run head over heels. They see that their country really cares for them. So it's very, very easy to be patriotic. So now I'm not excusing the fact that we are not patriotic. It really hurts my heart that we are not. It really hurts my heart that sometimes there are negative things about the country. We are nonchalant about the country. We go to other places, we respect their laws, we don't litter the place, we don't do things that we are very cautious the way we act, and then we come home and then we misbehave. It breaks my heart. But I feel that since a larger population of us are young people, most of us, we don't know our history. We don't know where we are coming from. We don't really understand the struggles, right? We don't know some of these things. So we're not seeing any reason to be indebted to the country. We're not seeing any reason to connect with the country. So I think it's very, very important that for us to revive that patriotism is, one, ingrain it deliberately into our curriculum, into the way they teach students, right? Ingrain it into our movies, right? Let us put these values that this is what Nigeria represents, this is what Nigeria is, and that would awaken. And then also let the government really show empathy and compassion, that they really care about us. because it's a give and take. If I know that you care about me, I would also do the same. Yes, you may not care about me, and I would want to care, but it's like drudgery, it's like too much work when it is just me that is giving my all. So I think that one of the reasons that most people are not showing that patriotism or that excitement about the country is because they've lost hope, because they really do not know, or they don't have enough information about why we are here, what other people have done, if anybody has ever been patriotic, for what reasons they have been patriotic. We don't have all of this documentation to help us. So that's it
Okay.
for me on patriotism.
Thank you. We have to be patriotic. I'm going to take the last set of chat before we close for the day. Our time is fast spent. Thank you, all you heard them. Nigerian leaders, please care for our citizens so that they can in turn be patriotic. So I'm going to take my chat now. Jiki so say, let's talk about power. As of May 12, 2015, an African country celebrated 10 years of interrupted power supply. Yes, yes, yes. And guess what? Their power is supplied by Nigerian government. Well, how true that is, I don't know. So how come we don't have power here? Okay, Blessing Joseph says our leaders have politicized everything that has really affected the economy, the economic development of the country. So pathetic. No more faithfulness, loyalty, and honesty. I resonate with you, Blessing. GK says the law empowers FG to channel 70% of power, electricity generated in various states to the federal grid. What do they do with electricity? I didn't get the other part of our light to bilateral relationship. Okay, so they sign up the light to bilateral relationship. Well, why they do that, I don't know. Olamide says, Bo Marcusing, good point. Mr. Israel says, all of the above. I think it was answering to the NSAS question. End police brutality. So he is for end police brutality and reform Nigerian police and SARS. Precious Faith says Nigeria will be great again. Yes, 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 yes. With bright young minds that know what this means. Nigeria will be great again. Oge Nkem says you have all spoken well. Indeed, you have all spoken well. I'm so proud of you. I know that there is hope for Nigeria, since we have young minds like you that are ready to stay and work and make Nigeria a better place. But before I say good night, I have one very tricky question to ask all of you. If you are given an opportunity to jet out of Nigeria today as we speak, if I call you, Tomiwa, this is a ticket to the United States of America, fly to America, there's a house waiting for you, there's job waiting for you, and there is everything that comes with it waiting for you. Would you stay in Nigeria and fight for Nigeria to get better, or you jet up? If I call Loretta, come and go to Australia. There's one university there that will give you some kind of scholarship. Will you go for the scholarship and come back to Nigeria tomorrow, or you will go and start making your millions in Australia? Ezekiel, if I call you now and tell you that come to UK, there's a job, a house, a car waiting for you, will you come back to Nigeria, or will you stay to be that change that we need to change Nigeria? Mr. Boma, if I call you that the president of Germany is offering you some kind of scholarship to come to Germany and work there, but you have to come back to Nigeria immediately after. But there's an offer over there after the job. What will you do? Say the truth. God is watching all of you. All right. So, Miss Loretta, I think I asked you first. You go. You take your response. Your mic is muted. Okay.
I would say for that, Nigeria has failed me by no light, so I'm using touch now to continue my interview. So definitely, if I have an opportunity to leave the country, honestly, I'm going to leave, right? But for me, I am somebody that always wants to come back. But it's like maybe I've spent like 10 years. My friends like you travel out and they maybe like spend like 10 years or so and then come back. So I'm always the one that wants to come back to. That's my own thoughts. But if I have the opportunity to leave, yes, I would want to leave. And the reason is this: I believe that Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the opportunity that she had and where she was able to climb to in her career, even getting to the top two position for the WTO, is because of the experiences that she has had, the international experience that she has had. And also, I feel that the fact that she's also Nigerian American was also something that also made her, stand out. So my travel is not just for the sake of running away from the country or running away from the hardship, but going out there to equip myself with the skills, the network, and all that I would need to, help to take this country where it wants to be. And my target is really to reform the education system, to improve the quality, to be a voice in education policy in Nigeria and Africa. So I believe that travel, if I get the opportunity to travel like this, you'll be see. It's my back, you'll be see. I'll take it and leave. Yeah, so that's it from me.
Okay, so she has answered. If she gets the opportunity, she will fly away and not look back. Okay, so who's going next, Tomiwa? If you get the opportunity, what will you do? Please answer very well because God will teach you. Yes.
For me, I'm someone who loves to be led before I do things. And on that note, based on the criteria you put in place for my own question, a house, an opportunity to school, I would definitely take the opportunity to go for a short-term basis to equip myself and come back to translate value and add impact to Nigeria as a society or as a nation. And the reason is that I believe in in diversity, and I believe in learning from various countries and various organizations. And so that's one of the major reasons why I would definitely take the opportunity to travel out for a short term to, like Loretta said, equip myself so that I can come back to translate that knowledge into impact here in my country. And definitely, even from the abroad, like we call it in the youthful area, we see people that also make impact even outside the country. There are people that are funding NGOs from outside of the country. There are people that own NGOs outside of the country, and they are making sure that they implement programs even in the health system here in underserved communities. So by going forward or by traveling out to equip myself, you get access to more educational facilities. You get access to more ways by which you can help and equip the educational system here and also the healthcare system here in Nigeria. So that will be my own take for a short-term basis and coming back to implement. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who did I give Australia question? Mr. Australia, I will give you a scenario. Somebody got an admission to go to Australia, and a friend of mine told me that the fee is 21 million Nigerian currency, 21 million naira, and they paid about 4 million, and the person got to Australia, and within 6 months, he paid up that money and he bought a car. And that guy says he's not coming back again. Mr. Ezekiel, I put that to you. Will you come back? I know you are a patriotic Nigerian. Will you come back? I know you are a patriotic Nigerian.
Well, I would definitely not be coming back in a short period of time. I would not come back in a short period of time with that kind of offer. I won't. But then I would want to come back later, maybe in my 40s or in my 50s. But I would like to stay there and gain more exposure, meet more people, and then further develop capacity. But with that kind of scenario, the offer is so mouth-watering. I don't think I would be in a hurry to come back.
My God, my God, Nigeria. He said he will come back in his 50s when he has finished his life. That's when he will come back. Mr. Boma, please take your response to your question.
Okay.
Will you
From
come
the
back?
panel, you can see 70% of Nigerian youths are already out of the country. The remaining 25%. And
yes,
it's amazing. But one point I will always come from is I've been thinking ever since the question came up is first is President Frank that is calling me. If the president of any nation is calling you, you likely respect that country and go to or consider the presidential offer. It's something worth considering. But on a second thought, are you fulfilled with whatever you are doing? Life is not really all about the money. making the whole lot. Are you fulfilled? If you go to that country, will you really feel at home? There are many persons abroad working tooth and nail, making all the money, suffering. In fact, some of them have even died in the process of making the money. At the end, they will not find fulfillment. The most important thing that keeps me going is fulfillment. If I won't have fulfillment doing that job abroad, I would rather stay in Nigeria. Nigeria is a beautiful place to stay if you are comfortable. If you are comfortable, there are 1001 opportunities in Nigeria that will make you a world figure. Dangote did not travel abroad to become a world figure. There are many poor persons that have grown up the rank that didn't have to leave the country. If you leave the country part-time basis to build yourself and return, beautiful. People will accept that offer. But when I leave Nigeria and I'm not fulfilled, I'd rather stay in Nigeria and discover why I am here in Nigeria. God placed me here for a purpose. Discover why you're here in Nigeria and contribute to your quota. I'll go and honor the presidential invitation, but I am a die-hard Nigerian fan. We die here and we stay here. Thank you very much.
Make the money here and we die here. So Mr. Boma is like me. Okay, so we'll go and come back, always come back and stay in Nigeria. Yes, a lot of Nigerians. Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of Nigerian youth. I back them this particular question, and you hear all of them say, "Whoa, I will not come back. I will run away." And you know, see, he's just said 50 years. The other person said they should even bury him there. That he doesn't want to come back, even dead, you know. So everybody with their own opinion and all that. But what I would say is we've come to the end of the show, everybody. Let me see if we still have any other chat so that I can quickly read that as we round up. Thank you all for joining the waiting room. Joseph Ochuko says, please answer honestly. Yes, that's the question. That's what I also told them. Answer honestly. When village people are not at work. So he said brilliantly answered. So I don't know who he was commending at that place, whether it's all of you that brilliantly answered. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone. Tomiwa, thank you for your brilliance. Loretta, thank you. You articulated your point very well. Ibe Ezekiel, thank you so much for your love and passion for the country. Mr. Boma, thank you for wanting to come back to Nigeria, even if you were given the opportunity to leave Nigeria. So with this, we come to the end of this episode of The Waiting Room. The Waiting Room is still celebrating Nigeria. The whole of October, we are celebrating our great country, Nigeria. Next week, we'll be expecting a special guest. Her name is Joyce Daniels. She is my namesake. And I won't reveal a lot about her yet, but she's a huge personality. She is Miss Nigeria. Her brand color is green, white, green. She's always on green, white. She'll come and tell us the reason why she is so patriotic about this country, Nigeria. She's a comedian, an on-air personality. She is full of life and funny, and you will see her next week. Please join the show next week so we can talk to Joyce Daniel. What drives her? Why is she that passionate about Nigeria? So with this, we'll say thank you to everyone that joined the show today. God bless you all. See you next week. Join the waiting room once again. My name is Ugbosu Joyce, a passionate Nigerian. I love this country to the bone. I have no plans of going relocating to another country. I have no plans of, getting another passport. My green passport is okay for me, and I love it that way. Thank you so much, young Nigerian youth. I know you guys are vibrant. I know you guys are not lazy. I know you guys are hardworking, and I know you guys are intelligent. Please let's keep it that way. And I know God will continue to put us together to help us. As we go this week, we ask the Lord to keep us, the Lord to continue to help you remain focused. So the Lord will help you guys to be agents of change in our country, Nigeria. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. So join us 7 p.m. next week. God bless you. So we can go away with our song. The land is green. Nigeria is green. If you can just look very well, there are so many opportunities here. God bless you. See you same time next week. God bless you. Can we have the land is green now, admin?
Land is green, it's green. Oh, oh,
Oh, I think
the
it's
land is green. It's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause it is so. It's green and it's all mine. And in the rain, I see the clouds go gray. On the roars of the earth sings. Season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. For the pouring of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance in the rain. It's all my seed to grow. Every prayer and every seed out of the harvest moons. I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green. Oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance. Once again, it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green. Oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me.
Land is
I thought it
green.
was over, I thought it was done with me. But we're just beginning. Whoa, my life is a journey. I will walk with you. I will go where you want me to. Yes, I will go. Come on. The land is green. You told me that the land is green. Hey, yeah. It's green. Oh, oh. The land is green. It's green. Can't you see? The land is green. It's green. Oh, oh. The land is green. It's green. Can't you see?